Hello, friends and family. I am going to try recording a video because I cannot seem to find the energy to type out an update, and my hands really hurt right now. So, and unfortunately, my phone camera doesn't have like a cool filter on it to make me look better. But this is just how I look right now. So, part of the reason I know I don't have to update people on my health, but I have been obviously through this whole journey. So I'm just kind of trying to find some different ways to do that work for me. And I'm recently trying to get over my fear of recording myself talking. So I started doing that on TikTok a little bit, even though it's a little scary. But anyhow, obviously, as most of you know, I had sepsis. I think it's been 3 weeks ago now, 3.5 weeks. And it has not been fun trying to recover from that. Mostly, I obviously already was not healthy before that, and I've been, dealing with my compressions and trying to get help for that so far unsuccessfully. Still working on it, but the sepsis further just hit me hard cognitively, so that's been my main struggle. I just haven't really been able to focus a lot on different things. Normally, I love to read books, and I have not been able to read a whole lot because it's just hard for me to focus for long periods of time. This is the first week I have been back at work. I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but I am currently doing a 10-hour-a-week schedule, which I guess, I don't know, that seems like not very much to me, or that it shouldn't be very much, but I can attest that has actually still been very challenging for me. So I'm gonna rewind back to last week, because I did post about just some of the turn of events and such with insurance and disability and all of that. So I am still waiting for my insurance to get activated again. I did send off my form and check for COBRA, so I'm hoping, I don't know how long that usually takes to process, but hopefully soon, because obviously they're just running everything as if I don't have insurance right now. So I have prescriptions just sitting and waiting for me to pick up, because I don't feel like paying for them out of pocket. And I did my first IV Ozone and Hyperbaric chamber treatment last week here in town, and it actually went pretty well. I mean, it takes a couple hours. So actually, the first day I was there, I just was able to do the IV Ozone and an IV of glutathione, and then I ran out of time to do the hyperbaric chamber because there was a last minute cancellation with my therapist. So I chose talking to my therapist over doing the chamber, and so then I went back and did the chamber the next day in the morning. So but it's really cool. I do really want to do a post later and kind of tell you more about that and just like what goes into it. But I can just kind of summarize. The IV ozone therapy is just meant to get some ozone, which is just a gas, into your blood to just kind of help oxygenate your blood. So I think I've just been struggling with this for a while. Like, it doesn't show up like, you know, like super obvious on blood labs or anything like that, but except, you know, during sepsis, like my hemoglobin did go low. And I did recently have my iron and ferritin checked, and my iron saturation is really low. And I think my ferritin was also low. I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, it doesn't really matter because I know that my blood was not super oxygenated. So, because when they take it out, it's like not far off from black. So, so when they put some oxygen, some ozone in with your blood, and it kind of helps give your blood a boost as it goes through your body. So, and it's not a lot of blood that they do for this IV ozone therapy. There's other ones where they use more blood, but you don't want to like come on too strong like right from the beginning. So that's why it's good to start with this treatment first. And then they do an IV of glutathione, and that's just kind of stuff to like help give you a boost and negate any like Herx reactions that you might have just from doing that, because they also run a portion of that blood through like a UV system that helps kill off any other like pathogens or anything that might be lingering in your blood. And so that's kind of what like jump started or made me want to try this, is just because obviously sepsis is infection of the blood. So that, and then, you know, I still have like some antibodies of other like viral things, because I don't know if you didn't know, you know, like if for instance, if you have mono, you're, even after you get better, like you're always going to have that, like that EBV in your body, and it just, you know, it goes dormant. But it can reactivate at any point in time if it feels like it. So I was also hopeful that that would help some of that stuff. But yeah, and then I went back the next day to do the chamber, which is just looks like a big white tent. And then once it fills up with oxygen, it kind of fills up. It feels like you're an airplane. Your ears pop a lot and that kind of stuff. It's not the most comfortable at first. But then eventually it kind of looks like you're just like in a little space rocket, because it's just like a big like tube looking thing once it's filled up, and then it has like a little window on either side, so you can like still see out or communicate with somebody if you need to. And then you just like hang out in there for an hour, and you get so on top of it being filled with 100% oxygen, you also, then they have you put on an oxygen mask and get oxygen that way for part of it. So they do it for 30 minutes, they give you a 5-minute break, and then you could do it again for 25 minutes. You can, you know, get toxic if you have too much oxygen, but obviously this is a very like monitored, safe, trained people running this thing. So it's also, I don't know, some of you maybe have heard of it before, because it is FDA approved for different types of things, like carbon monoxide poisoning is one of them. It's not necessarily approved for some other stuff, but I know some people use it for like stroke recovery, because the whole point of it is just to help cell and tissue repair. That oxygen is just supposed to help give your body a boost to heal. And so it's also used a lot for wounds, like that are just struggling to heal. People trying to maybe avoid having to be amputated and things like that. So anyways, a lot of times you have to do that treatment multiple times a week, actually, like 20, 40, 60 sessions of it. So it's a lot for some of those types of things. I'm just doing it right now to help like further absorb the ozone treatment that I'm getting. And so currently he just prescribed that I do this 4 times, once a week, 4 times, and then we'll check back in. Obviously this is also not a cheap therapy, which is another reason why I was feeling pretty defeated last week, because I knew that I really needed to give this a try. And obviously we're still moving forward with it, and you know, just digging into that good old savings account. But I honestly felt like, I don't know how long it was going to take me to recover from sepsis if I like didn't try something else to kind of help boost my immune system. So I was pretty adamant that I need to try something, and because I don't have months and months to wait, especially now that my disability was denied, which I will be appealing, but just that takes time and energy, and so hopefully I can get a boost. So that was really long, very sorry. So anyways, I was pretty tired and run down after the hyperbaric chamber treatment, which it is normal to just, you know, feel kind of tired, because especially that first treatment, because your body is like, whoa, what are you doing? It's got a lot of work to do. So I then started to have a little bit of boost of energy on Sunday. So let's see, I did those treatments Wednesday, Thursday, then it was 4th of July on Friday. But then Sunday I got out for a walk. I asked Ben if I could mow part of the lawn. He only let me do like 1 round because I was kind of struggling to breathe properly after just that part. And then Monday and Tuesday I did a couple things too. So Monday was the first day I was back at work, and then Tuesday I did go into the office because I haven't been there in about a month, and I just wanted to try and go and be a normal human being. So I did that. Anyways, the downside is I definitely am still, since having this, like burning through just like a lot of energy. I have not been diagnosed with POTS like officially, but I've had POTS like symptoms, especially. I had them before, but especially a lot more after sepsis. And so just, you know, anytime getting up from seated to go to the bathroom, to walk across the house, to make some food, whatever it is, like my heart rate will jump up, you know, over like 120. So for sure over like 110. And I do wear a heart rate monitor band on my arm, which helps kind of keep track of that. So it's pretty easy to see on the graph every day. It's like going up and down. But anyways, in those first few weeks, my body just, it wouldn't even get into rest mode. Like it wouldn't get below, I think I have my threshold set at like 77 beats per minute. So it wouldn't even go below that when I was in rest. So I have since made progress in that, and my body will get into rest mode occasionally. So, and then I just struggle still with, but yeah, the other biggest thing after those 2 treatments last week, my head did feel a little bit better. Like I felt a little bit more clarity. I was starting to feel more like myself. And that was just a really, really huge relief, just to see like any signs whatsoever of improvement. On Sunday, Theodore did talk me. He really wanted to go to Walgreens, and so we were going to drive there, except I didn't have Otis's car seat in my car, and I just did not have the energy to put that thing back in there. If you have children, you know what I'm talking about. And so he was like, let's walk, and I was like, yeah, no, that's out too. Like, it's only a mile, but I still can't do that out and be in the store and get back home. That would be the only thing I could probably do that day then, and it would probably wipe me out for a few days. So anyways, which is very frustrating. And I was like, well, let's try bicycling, and so hopped on Violet's bike. Theodore had Otis in the trailer, and so off we went. And like halfway, at first I was like, oh, this is great, feels great to be out here and bicycling, like obviously I was loving that part, but partway through I was like, all right, my body's not real happy about this anymore. And so by the time I got to Walgreens, I was feeling very lightheaded and nauseous, and not gonna lie, I was pretty frustrated about that, because I was like, really, it was 1 mile, like. So, anyways, I got through that. We got back home. So it just kind of like hangs on for a while. And so the next thing happened on Monday. I went on a little walk with Theodore. And he wanted to do the hill, which like I knew the hill was going to not be great for me, but did I do it anyways? I sure did. Anyways, I felt lightheaded and nauseous after that for like a couple hours. It took me a bit to really like snap out of that. So anyways, my point is there's still a lot of work to do, but I was very happy to see some improvements. And then I definitely did crash pretty hard by Wednesday. And but I went back and had my second treatment yesterday, and I actually did pretty well last night. I took a nap after I got home, like late afternoon, for an hour quick before I had to go get Otis, because Ben was out golfing. And so that was going to be a necessity, but I actually did pretty good and I felt okay. Anyways, now it's Friday morning and definitely feeling rough today. Woke up with a migraine and I'm just very tired, and I had intentions of trying to get some work done. Just really not there mentally yet. I'll probably try again later to see if I can get some time in. I was already on this struggle bus before I even got sepsis, and I'm just like really, really tired of trying to like have to push myself so hard constantly just to get in like 2 hours of work. It's honestly very, very defeating. But I do keep trying because I don't want to not work. And obviously right now it's actually very necessary that I still work a few hours, even just to make a few $100s. So anyways, I gonna keep trying, and it is good having that social aspect of it. For a while I felt like it also kind of gave me a purpose, but at the same time, now where I'm at now, I've kind of fully accepted that my purpose actually is just to take care of myself and my kids. So I wasn't gonna get emotional, but here I am. Anyways, I'll try again later to do another video. But thank you for tuning in. That's my update. I guess if you are somebody who wants to like hope and pray or whatever you want to do, for me, I do have some specific requests. Obviously, one, I need my insurance to be activated again. Two, the doctor in Michigan is reviewing my my new scans for the Nutcracker syndrome, and obviously I have not kept people in the loop as to what's been going on with that in the whole story. It's long, except for a few people that just talk to me regularly. But sorry, number two, pray that that doctor is going to be willing to help me. If he doesn't, I don't actually know what my next step is going to be. I mean, obviously you all know me. I'm sure I'll find a way or find someone else to go to, but I just don't even want to have to go down that road. So let's hope that he will be willing to help me. And it wasn't that he didn't want to help me the first time. He was very helpful. He just felt that it wasn't necessary for me to have to go to Michigan, you know, to get help, that I should be able to here right in Minnesota, because it wasn't necessarily a complicated surgery or ask. But obviously since then we have discovered that my anatomy is even more complicated than we already knew that it was. So I think that's the main thing that's holding people back. And you know, some doctors keep thinking there's not strong enough evidence of Nutcracker, but there actually is. And so I think it has more to do with them not wanting to take the risk. So I can understand that. So I don't know where I will end up with that. So let's just stick with those two things. We're gonna start small. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully next time I come on here I look and feel more like myself. So anyways, love you all. Thank you. Bye.